Okay, I'm back this time to work on the example problem in chapter 6 on page 225. And what I want to do is show you how to solve those problems using Excel and with PHStat. And in the book, in that example, they show you how to do it with the z-score method. And I really think you should understand the z-score method. But in practice, you'll probably use the Excel function or PHStat. So the first thing I like to do, though, is get a sketch of what I'm going to look at a normal distribution. Get a sketch of what I'm trying to do. So I attached a video to the forum showing you how to create the normal probability curve. So I want to do that now on this one. So on this one here, the mean is 7. The standard deviation is 2. So what I want to do is take 3 standard deviations away from the mean, which gives me 1, and I want to get data points from 1 all the way to 3 standard deviations above the mean, which would be 13. So I'm going to do that, and my second value is going to be a 1.2. I'm going to do it in 2/10 increments, and if I highlight both of those cells and get that cross on the right hand bottom corner, I can drag that down and it will fill that out for me, and I don't need any values greater than 13, so I gotta go back up here and delete everything from 13 down. So I click on that cell right there, click Control Shift down arrow, that gets rid, and I hit delete, that gets rid of all the data above 13. So I have my data now. I say equals here, get the formula for norm dis, which is that, norm dis, and click that in, double click it, there we go. The first thing they ask for is the x value, which would be that one, comma, the mean is 7, comma, the standard deviation is 2, and comma, on this one here I do not want to accumulate the probabilities. So I say false, and hit it, and that's the first calculation. Now if I put the cross on the bottom right hand arrow and double click, it fills that all out for me. And then if I highlight these 2 cells and click Control Shift down arrow, I've selected all the data. I say insert scatter diagram, and I get that drawing. There is the normal distribution curve for the data as presented. As you can see, the mean is 7, and the end value is 13, and over here the end value is 1. Okay, so I've drawn my normal probability distribution curve for this data. Now, to do that first problem, to do these problems, what I try to do is, and I'm using Excel now, is sketch out what I'm trying to accomplish. So in the first one, which is example 6.1, they want to say what is the probability I'll have a value greater than 9. So what I usually do is quickly draw a crude sketch showing me what I'm up against here. I hold the left finger on the shift arrow to keep that line nice and straight. Alright, so what I want is, I'll get a plus sign here. The probability I want is, well, I got a really big one there, didn't I? Let's see if I could shrink that down a little bit. I want that data. I want everything greater than 9. I do not want this. Alright, so let me put a negative in there for that. I don't want that data over there. I don't want that probability. I want the probability of 9 or greater. So I know that the probability of the whole thing, all of the data, is from a probability of 100% would be all the data from the right all the way down to the left. So to get 9, I'm going to have to find the probability of 9 and subtract from it. Just subtract it from 1. So it'll look like this. I say equal NORM, that's norm dis, and I double click on that to get the formula. The value that I'm interested in here is 9, and average is 7 and the mean or standard deviation is 2, and this time I do want all the accumulated probabilities, and I get 0.841. So the probability of having a value from 9 or down is 0.841. Well, I want the opposite. I want the probabilities of everything greater than 9. Well, that would be 1 minus that number. Okay, so let me put the equal sign in there, and I want 1 minus that number right there, enter, 0.1587 rounded off, and you'll see that that's the correct answer in the text. Alright, so what I've done is I've drawn my normal probability curve from the mean standard deviation that was given to me. I've put some sketchy things on there to show me what it is I'm trying to accomplish so I can visualize it, and then from there I can use the norm disk function to get the probability for the area that I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so that's basically how it's done. Now up above, so that's the answer to 6.1, example 6.1. So up above I've done them for all of them. That's 6.1. 6.2 I had to have the one that is great, an area that is 7 or less, or 9 and more. Okay, well the answer for 9 and more I just did up above, so that's 0.1587. I get the norm disk formula out and get the probability of 7 or below. That's the accumulated probability of 7. That's what that means, the accumulated probability of 7, which is why I said true. The accumulated probability of 7 is 0.5. So I want accumulated probability of 7 plus what's greater than 9. Well, that's those two together then, 0.1587 plus 0.5, and I get 0.686. Okay, and then similarly here I wanted the area, and I'll let you study these. Okay, study this one and you'll see how I got to that answer. And then the last answer is example 6.4 is what value of x represents 10% probability. Well, there is a function called norm inverse. So if I would go here, for example, and say ENORM, I look down, there's norm inverse right there. So I go norm inverse, and when I plug in the values, I want to know what 10%, what value would have 10% of the data. 7 is my average, 2 is my standard deviation. I hit enter, and I get 4.44, and that's the same as the answer in the back of the book. Now, so that's how we do that. I'll let you study those other ones, but that's how you use Excel to calculate these. And like I say, I believe in creating the graphs so I can see visually what's going on. Now, to do this in PHStat, it's a lot easier. I go to my PHStat add-in, and I look down for probability, and I have the normal probability plot. I go there, normal probability, not normal probability plot, but normal probability. The mean is 7, standard deviation is 2, and the first one asks what is the probability for values x greater than 9, and I don't need this one, so I take that out. I want probabilities x greater than 9. This is problem 6.1, so I say okay, and there's the answer. Alright, let's do another one. Let's do that one asking for the percentage. I take that out, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for the accumulative percentage, where what value would equal a probability of 10%, that everything below that value would be included. Okay, and I would click 10% there, hit OK. Oops, I got a numeric value missing. I forgot to put in the up above data, so let's do that. And there's my standard deviation of 2. Now I'm ready. That's it. Bingo. 4.44. That's the answer in the book. Okay. So PHStat does make it a lot easier. I just wanted to show you that. But they're both doable in Excel, and of course you can also use the Z-score method, which is the way I learned how to do this stuff many years ago. Okay. So if you have any questions on this, please come to the forum. Thanks.